You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Coming up, roughly 30 aircraft land at Pittsburgh's Atkinson Municipal Airport.
And things continue to get strange with a Stranger Things display.
And look at this sunrise. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it is a preview of the absolutely gorgeous day that we have in store for us. The latest on your fall-like weather and rain chances coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thanks for joining us for the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. Some Joplin students met with Governor Mike Parson as he visited training centers in the area. On Thursday, the Missouri governor visited Crowder College and Joplin High School Technology Centers for a tour and a chance to talk with students. Governor Parson says even though the employment rate is the lowest it's ever been, the state still has over 100,000 job openings. He says the quicker the students get their training done, they can get in the workforce and fill some of the spots.
With these training centers, the private sector is getting involved with these. We want to support that, so financially we're going to be able to do that at higher levels that's ever been done in our state's history. But again, we're expecting them to get these students in here and to get them out of here. And if it means to build on, to expand, that's exactly what we want them to do because the demand's there.
There's 127,000 jobs open right now. Many of them are in highly skilled trades. And that's what we do at Crowder College.
Currently, Crowder College has about 160 students at the Advanced Training and Technology Center. The mayor of Joplin, Doug Lawson, took time to make a few proclamations yesterday. The first proclamation honored the National Arts and Humanities Month of October. The second honored the 15 years of Art Walk in Joplin, celebrating the arts and artists' many accomplishments and skills from far and wide.
This is awesome. Having the mayor issue this proclamation, it means so much to the artists and the different arts groups. Also, we have a thriving community, arts community in Joplin, and to have that recognized, it's very special.
The White House and
Mayor Lawson encourages everyone to come out and see the Art Walk for themselves, as it is truly a wonder. Roughly 30 aircraft land at Pittsburgh's Atkinson Municipal Airport for the Fly Kansas Air Tour. The tour is a 3-day, 9-city celebration of aviation. Pittsburgh is the second stop on the statewide tour. Over 200 fifth graders from Pittsburgh schools attend the event to meet the pilots and learn about aviation. The kids say they had a great experience.
It's actually like being able to see everything inside the plane. It's really cool being able to sit in the seat because the seats are pretty comfy.
I really like the planes around here. They look cool and you get to learn about the planes and stuff.
The Fly Kansas Air Tour will end on Saturday. R.E. Smith Construction in Joplin celebrates its 70th anniversary. The construction company was established in 1952 and started from a small carpentry and residential construction company to one of the leading general contractors in the 4 states. The celebration marks more than 8,000 projects in more than 8 states.
We couldn't have done it without our employees. They're the backbone of our business, and we have a lot of career employees with us this year. We've had and still have career employees that have never worked anywhere else. We have from our skilled workers in the field to our office management staff. But they're the backbone of this business, and that's why we're as successful as we are.
Celebration was at RE Construction's main location, lasted until about 6 p.m. Well, things just got stranger for an Illinois neighborhood. A controversial Stranger Things themed Halloween display in front of a Plainfield home is reopening this weekend. All right, the family got the okay from officials after a neighbor had voiced concerns. Evelyn Holmes has the latest.
There's yet another twist in the controversy surrounding the Stranger Things Halloween display in the suburban Joliet area, as the creators of the House Haunt now plan to reopen it this weekend.
And I didn't want to take it down, so I'm happy they didn't.
Dave Appel says the seasonal setup dreamed up by his family will return to their front yard Saturday after he spoke with city officials about the display following complaints by a lone neighbor about the increased foot and vehicle traffic.
The conversation looked like I had fans in City Hall. It was very much
We love what you're doing. Thank you so much for helping the community and doing something good for the community.
Joliet police officials say they are monitoring the situation along Whispering Oaks Court, adding the display, which is on private property, is not violating any ordinances or permits.
I would encourage the public to, if they do travel there, to be mindful where they park, to make sure they're parking legally. Also, to be respectful of the property of others.
The Stranger Things display replicates a scene from the popular Netflix show and features a lifelike mannequin dressed as the character Max Mayfield, appearing to hover in midair. Appel says the prop was temporarily removed because of weather, but will return soon.
It's really cool. When I first saw it, I was very surprised. I was like, how is that up there?
And while the fuss may have tainted the effort, most here hope the wonder that is Halloween will still be fun.
We hope the neighbors are, happy, and we don't want to burn any bridges with them. We just want them to be able to enjoy it with us.
Well, the full display will be up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evenings. During the week, the lights and sounds will be turned off.
Well, we've got a bit of a Stranger Things forecast because it's actually fall outside, and it's going to be that way at least for a few days, 2 or 3 of them. But quick look first on this day in weather history. A major hurricane swept over Jamaica, Cuba, and the Bahamas back in 1844. 158 vessels were wrecked and 2,546 homes were destroyed along the Cuban coast. Nothing like that in our area. We are watching this batch of shower and thunderstorm activity. There is a slight chance it could clip our northern counties later today, but it's looking highly unlikely. Right now in Joplin, a gorgeous sunrise for this gorgeous day, 54 degrees in the city. We've got 58 Center and Iola, 54 Chanute, 55 Columbus, 56 Neosho, and 53 in Monette. Live look from the MoDOT camera at 36 in Rangeline. Traffic picking up. Your commuter cast is good. Green light, partly cloudy, 50s to start your day, and a great drive home. Green light, partly cloudy to mostly clear skies, temperatures in the 60s. And that is actually, if we can get there, as warm as it's going to get today. So we're only going to head for a high of 68 degrees. And we're going to drop back down to a low of 45 tonight, and we're watching rain chances next week. We warm back into the 80s, but really good rain chances, especially Wednesday, something we absolutely need here in the 4 states.
Yes, we do. That's for sure. Well, up next, Cadaver Zone Spook House sits down with our very own Chris Warner to spook some more fun into the 4 states.
And later, we meet a veteran whose 100th birthday wish is to rejoin the military. Yeah, you're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
In Health Watch this morning, young athletes are more likely to get hurt on synthetic turf as opposed to natural grass. That's according to a new report from the University of Hawaii. The research found children sustained more ankle and knee injuries. There is a scary person in here. We've got an thank you. Interview coming up with the Cadaver Zone here in our next segment. Can I do the health block? Thank you. Okay. Oh my goodness. All right, moving along. A new warning from doctors. E-scooter injuries are becoming more common and more severe. Research from Children's National Hospital shows 1 in 8 children were admitted to a hospital following an injury from an e-scooter in 2020. Concussions, skull and arm fractures, and internal bleeding were just some of the injuries hospitals treated. Doctors stress children should wear helmets when riding e-scooters. It's hard to be serious about these stories now. Okay, a new data from the FDA shows an estimated 2.5 million children and teens use e-cigarettes. It also shows the majority of users smoke flavored e-cigarettes, and 1 in 4 children who use them reportedly do so daily. The FDA says the high numbers highlight e-cigarette use among youth is still a public health problem despite efforts to tackle the issue. And I'm pretty sure Chris was behind all of that little spookery there.
We have been working on that for about a week and a half now. Isn't that right, Corinza? It's been about a week and a half that we've been contemplating a way to make Halloween month even more exciting for you. So the good news is we were prepared in case you got a little too scared to cut off your audio.
Well, you were lucky that I didn't punch him.
But we had fun, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole point. So
I don't even know what I was reading. I completely lost focus of that.
That's all right. Well, we've got a great interview at the Cadaver Zone coming up. Quick check of our forecast. We got a beautiful sunrise. I'm a little out of breath because I had to run and tell lies to Tanya and get back into place for all of that. It was a lot of fun, though. 54 degrees, north breeze will be picking up later today. 58 Center, 55 Parsons, 56 Neosho as we start the day. Your commuter cast, it's a green light for your morning commute, partly cloudy, and 50s. Green light for your evening commute, too. So we have partly cloudy, mostly clear, and 60s. As we go through today, 68 is as warm as we get under partly cloudy skies. We drop back down to an overnight low of 45 degrees tonight. 7-day forecast shows us a good weekend. 69 tomorrow, 75 Sunday. 80s for the first half of the week. We also have increasing rain chances with our best shot of showers and thunderstorms coming to us on Wednesday. We'll be back with a very special interview right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. As we've said several times before, it is the spookiest time of year. And here comes the absolutely spookiest part of the whole year. It's a traditional part of Halloween at spook houses, and there's a lot of them in the 4 states today. We've got the Cadaver Zone right outside of Webb City. Welcome, Chaz, to the show. So it's great to have you. You brought along a special guest.
Yes, I did.
Who's helped us out on something, as we mentioned, we've been planning for like a week and a half. So thank you for helping us out on this. She's really good.
Yeah.
And very spooky. Very spooky. So tell me a little bit, first off, about the Cadaver Zone. How long have you guys been out there?
Well, this is our 9th season. We're at Kafer and 43 Highway. We've been there, like I said, for 9 years. A friend of mine, my partner, talked me into starting this 9 years ago. So we set it up for the kids to be able to come out and have a good time. And a few people show up, and sometimes we know who most of them are, but every once in a while, you never know. Things just kind of happen.
Yeah. And so you've got some great actors and actresses out there.
Yes.
Like Harley here,
Yep.
who's doing a phenomenal job of being absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
And this sound that she's making that's scary. That's a pretty scary sound. So tell me about some of the folks you have out there. What does it take to get all this together every year?
Oh, we will probably start working on it again for next year in January.
Wow.
We work on it all year long. It takes a lot of creativity. I'm not the creativity person. I'm the business guy. My partner is the guy that knows and thinks of all these crazy ideas. And then once he comes up with an idea, I can help build it and stuff, but I don't have that kind of, what is it, the left half of your brain that is creative?
I think so. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, that part of my brain doesn't work very good, but as you can tell, Harley's does.
Very, very much so. She is doing, like you said, just a great job. I don't know how they keep it up like they do. And so how many people do you have out there that you employ at the Cadaver Zone?
We have typically about 30 to 35 actors in the spook house somewhere or out of the spook house somewhere. Sometimes, they don't always do exactly what we think they're going to do.
And I think that adds to the surprise and suspense of the whole thing, because even you don't know exactly what's going to happen next.
Right. But another thing I want to bring up, Chris, that will help for some families, we do have what we call a Casper's Way, that if somebody gets way too scared, somebody will come in and take them through with a flashlight so they can continue to see the rest of the attraction, but still not get so scared that they might do something that they might not want people to know about.
I understand that completely. And that's great to be able to have that, because I've been out to some different spook houses over the years, and I've seen that happen with folks. I managed to make it through. I don't know how, because there's a lot of things in the world like that scare me half to death. But somehow I've made it through these things. But it's great that you have that resource for those that get a little bit too spooked to be able to make it back through, because I've seen some folks that legitimately freak out. And given Harley's role, and this is just one of many, and I can see where it's easy to freak out. You're also a member, too, of a very special group online.
Yes, we are a member of 4statehaunts.com, and what that is There's 5 spook houses in the area. Of course, us, Cadaver Zone, Unleashed, Wolfman's House of Screams, Rest in Peace, Myers Inn in Carthage, and Project Fear in Parsons, Kansas. And we get together and share ideas, share leverage advertising opportunities and things to just make the haunt season in the 4-state area much better.
It certainly sounds exciting. So when are you open? What are some of the hours that people can expect?
Okay, we're open every Friday and Saturday night from 7 o'clock until at least midnight. As we get later in the season, typically the lines start getting longer, so that we may be there until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning even. We stay there until people stop coming, until the line's gone.
All right. Well, Chad, thank you so much for coming in this morning. We've got all this information on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. The one thing we don't have on our website is Harley here, and that might be a good thing because she's extra spooky, and it's a little too spooky for this time of the morning. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14 right after this.
It's time to honor today's 4-state hero, Russell Spillman. The Blue Mound, Kansas native served in the Pacific from 1944 to 1946. This decorated veteran earned the Philippine Liberation Ribbon, the Victory Medal, and the American Area Campaign Medal. To Russell Spillman, we thank you, today's 4-state hero.
Well, the Michigan Air National Guard has a new member. It's a 100-year-old man. Robert Mooney is more than qualified to join. He served in the Army during World War II and then re-enlisted in the Air Force in the 1950s.
When asked what he wanted for his big birthday, Mooney said he wanted to be in the military again, and that's what he got.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our hero today. Come on out, Bob. 100 years old today, ladies and gentlemen. Robert Mooney, who was turning 100, and they asked him what he wanted for his birthday. And he said he wanted to serve in the military again. You're going to be in the military, but you got to have it all. This gentleman's in front of me here, he served his nation not once, but twice.
But I'm going to give you something today that will allow you to open every door in Battle Creek, whether you believe it or not. We're going to give you a key to the city of Battle Creek.
Let it be known by this certificate that Robert Francis Mooney is hereby an honorary member in good standing of the Michigan National Guard.
This is when you take the oath of office. As an honorary member of the Michigan National Guard, I, Robert Francis Mooney, do solemnly swear or affirm that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America. Congratulations. You are now a full-fledged member of the Air National Guard. Here they are, lead here. Team 34, World War II, in honor of Bob. Smokey Bob. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bob. Happy birthday to you.
We talk about a great way to celebrate a 100th birthday.
No kidding.
On top of getting the keys to the city, Mooney received other gifts, including a care package from the Blue Star Mothers and a flyover from the Hooligans flight team. So absolutely astonishing. Great story there. And I mean, again, just what a great way to celebrate a birthday.
Yeah.
If you're celebrating a birthday today, as we talked about in the KOAM show, boy, you've got a great day in store for you today because we got fall-like weather across the area. Look at the sunrise. Some partly cloudy skies out there. Not bad at all. Temperature's not bad. 54 degrees in Joplin right now with a light north breeze, but that breeze is going to pick up a little later today. We have 51 Yates Center, 49 Iola, 54 Pittsburgh, 53 in Lamar as we start the day. The live MoDOT cam at 36 in range line. Traffic is flowing smoothly, and we're hoping your commute goes the same because weather-wise, it's a green light, partly cloudy for the morning commute, and then another green light for your afternoon drive home on this finally Friday. Partly cloudy to mostly clear skies, temperatures in the 60s. Allergy sufferers, great. We've just got a great forecast and great news all around. 4.7 out of 12 on the pollen count today, 3.4 out of 12 for tomorrow. Going through the rest of today, 68 is as warm as we get under partly cloudy skies, and we'll eventually drop back down to an overnight low of 45 under partly cloudy skies, so make sure the heater's running. 69 Saturday, 75 on Sunday. Rain chances increase through Wednesday. We return to the 80s, and our best chance of showers and thunderstorms comes on Wednesday before temperatures return to a bit more seasonable level. We'll be right back after this.
Four States Most Watched News starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Currently 7:30. Getting to our top stories today. A vehicle pursuit turns into a standoff with the police, with Joplin police. At about 9:30 last night, they began pursuing a silver pickup traveling south on Schifferdecker. Truck stopped near Coyote and Concord Lane, south of 32nd and Schifferdecker, after the police deployed a spike strip. Witnesses say they heard a gunshot as Joplin police closed the road to all traffic and began a contain and call out procedure for the driver of the truck. Joplin police have not confirmed that any weapons were fired. SWAT arrived during that time with the MRAP armored vehicle about an hour and a half after the male subject was finally taken into custody. This is a developing story. We'll have the latest on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Authorities in Independence, Kansas say an 8-year-old girl has died after a house fire. The fire happened Wednesday afternoon at 4761 East Highway 160. First responders removed the child from the house and took her to the hospital where she was pronounced dead. The cause of the death is undetermined at this point. Kansas Fire Marshal's office is helping to investigate the cause of that fire. Some Joplin students got to meet with Governor Mike Parson as he visited training centers in the area. KOAM's Yana Hatula learned why the visit was so important.
Missouri Governor Mike Parson got the chance to tour technology centers in Joplin. The governor says these centers are important as the state has over 100,000 job openings.
The quicker these students get out, they get their training, get their certificate, the quicker they go in the workforce. So it's always fun to come down here and you see good things happening.
Parson says since the state is in good financial shape right now, they should invest in communities and workforce.
It's a great opportunity for businesses to expand, for new businesses to come here, which we're seeing. But I think also just as important is retain the businesses you have.
The president of Crowder College says it is important to showcase the things they do at the Advanced Training and Technology Center, even for the elementary and high school.
Elementary school and the high school, I think he will get to see where the end result could be and hopefully share with those students what their future is. Crowder College.
Students at Joplin High School got to talk with the governor himself.
Really emphasizing that point of how important our education is. I mean, he did that up here as well, but even then he was telling us this is great, and we're really fortunate to go to a school that has this many programs.
The governor says the students he spoke with know what they want to do after graduation.
More focused on, hey, I got to figure out what my profession is going to be before I get out of high school. And I think you've seen that throughout the day, which is a good thing. These young people taking it on themselves to make those decisions. So I always think that's a good sign for the future of the state of Missouri.
In Joplin, Yana Haudala, KOAM News.
The governor says that because the state is in good financial shape, support for training centers is higher than ever before. Well, this morning we're discussing a rather unusual Airbnb. It's quiet, quaint, and a little bit odd. Those are words used to describe the town of Wyckoff, Minnesota. And in this town, preservation is paramount. And the Wyckoff Jailhouse, an iconic building which opened in 1913, hasn't changed much. Now, when it closed, the city council thought about tearing it down, but in the early 90s, it was turned into a bed and breakfast. And a few years ago, city clerk put it on Airbnb. The money generated from Jailhouse stays in the town of Wyckoff and helps them pay for upkeep of their other preservation efforts. And that brings us to our question to you this morning. Would you pay to spend a night in an old jail? It's a simple yes or no. So far, 39% of you say you would, and 61% say you would not. Make sure you vote through our app, through the website, and of course take part in the discussion on our Facebook page. Now, for the forecast. Boy, it is one that you're going to vote yes for once you see what we're looking at for today and tomorrow. We've got a really beautiful sunrise there at 7th and Range Line in Joplin, and we are sitting at 54 degrees right now with a light north breeze, but that breeze is going to pick up a little bit bit later. We have 53 Fredonia, 56 Columbus, 55 Neosho, and 54 in Anderson. The MoDOT camera live at 36 in Range Line in Joplin. Traffic picking up, but it is flowing in your commute. For weather-wise, got a green light, partly cloudy for the rest of the morning and in the 50s. And when you drive home, yet another green light. Your evening commute on this finally Friday, partly cloudy skies, temperatures in the 60s. Allergy sufferers too. Great news for you, because we got a 4.7 out of 12 on the pollen count today and a 3.4 out of 12 for the pollen count tomorrow. As we go through the rest of today, 68 degrees. That's as warm as it gets today. We'll be partly cloudy through the majority of the day, and we'll drop back down to an overnight low of 45. So if you haven't fired up the heater yet, you may need to this evening, especially if you don't like the cold, because for me, 45 is pretty darn chilly. We'll be partly cloudy tonight. Friday night football, it's on tonight, and we've got a good forecast. We are calling cloud interference on the field because we're going to see those partly cloudy skies, maybe a few more clouds out there. We're 60 at kickoff, 57 at halftime, but it is very fall-like football weather out there. Saturday, 69, partly cloudy. Sunday, 75, mostly clear. And we start to warm up next week. And with today's wind gusting to 25, make sure to secure your trash can because it may get knocked over in some of these gusty breezes that we're expecting later today. Now, the 7-day forecast everybody's been looking for. We got the nice weather through the weekend. We warm back up into the 80s for the start of next week, but take a look at Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We're looking at increasing rain and thunderstorm chances, with our best chance so far on Wednesday. It's rain that we absolutely need. Now, after the rain gets through, we drop to 75 on Thursday, the 60s next Friday and Saturday, before the 80s make a return for the week after. It's Friday, and you know what that means here in the area. It's time for the Big Three with Shannon Becker. There he is. Good morning, Shannon. I hope you are ready to go over the Big Three stories of the week, and that's what we're going to do when we come back. Well, welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It's Friday. That means it's almost the weekend. It also means this guy, Shannon Becker, here right now to go over the Big Three stories of the week from Joplin News First. So go ahead and just take it away.
All right. We've got them on our website, KOAM News Now. It's number 3 this week. Ottawa County inmates escaped from custody. They ran out a Sally door. If you know what a Sally port is, a Sally door, it's a garage door where they can pull the police cars into. So this large garage door they ran out of. 2 of them are now in custody and 2 are still at large. They're offering a $2,500 reward for either one of them. So $5,000 in all, but obviously they're probably not hiding out together. That wouldn't be very smart, would it? But then again, they are, being in jail for a reason. Who knows? Of course, our number 2 story this week, Joplin News First. KOAM News Now, a tragic story out of Barton County. 3 Lamar teens involved in a crash early Sunday morning. One of them did not survive. Barton County Sheriff's Office, Missouri State Highway Patrol were on scene as we were, and one person did survive in the car. Minor injuries. He was wearing his seat belt. Our number 1 story, it was shots rang out at a football game. Miami High School playing in Tulsa at McLean High School. You can see them scatter there as both teams could hear those gunshots. It killed a 17-year-old boy just outside the fence there near the tennis courts. Other football teams are not playing at McLean for the rest of the season, it seems, until they can address some security issues. I'm not necessarily sure. It just seems like as the week has gone by, each team has said, we're not coming. So it's not happening tonight for sure also. And our our bonus story of the week. It's in Columbus. If you've ever been to the Columbus Balloon Festival, or like they like to call it, the regatta, it sounds much more refined, right? Tonight's the Balloon Glow. It goes on all weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but the glow is so neat. It's about 6:45 tonight. It's going to be dusk, and they have the balloons all aired up and all that, and then they fire them off so they glow at different points. It's really, really a neat experience if you've never been. They've got events all weekend long. We've got those on our website. You can check it out. And have you got to go to that before?
I didn't get to the one in Columbus, but I did go to one at Missouri Southern a few years back, and seeing that glow. It was a little too windy to launch the balloons, but they did the glow, and it was just absolutely breathtaking. It's so interesting what we can find so beautiful in life, and that was just one of those things that just blew me away.
And they don't launch them at night, so they won't launch even if it was good weather tonight. They just let them glow. Tomorrow morning they will launch. It's right behind the McDonald's in Columbus, so you don't want to miss it. $5 for parking.
And you mentioned earlier, you have folks that say, boy, I didn't even know this was going on, but we are letting you know. We have been letting you know this morning. Of course, it's on our website, also through
Yeah,
Joplin News
you got
First,
it.
that it is happening.
Yep.
So make sure you get out there. Well, Shannon, thanks so much for
All right,
joining us
brother.
again this morning. We will be back with more right after this. We've got an absolutely gorgeous day lined up for us today, and we've got a beautiful sunrise to set up this beautiful fall day ahead of us. We're 54 in Joplin. We've got a few additional clouds out there. 54 Chanute, 49 Iola, 53 Pittsburgh and Lamar, and 54 in Carthage as we start the day. Last look at your commuter cast pretty much. You can see our the live camera from MoDOT at 36th and Rangeline. More traffic on the road, but it's flowing. We got a green light weather-wise for your morning commute. We'll be in the 50s, partly cloudy skies. When you drive home, another green light, because we'll be partly cloudy to mostly clear, temperatures in the 60s. We've had great news for allergy sufferers as pollen counts continue to drop. A 4.7 out of 12 today and a 3.4 out of 12 for tomorrow. Now going through the rest of today, we will warm up only as high as 68 degrees. So absolutely gorgeous weather. Partly cloudy skies to go along with that. A little bit chilly tonight, might need the heater because we're going to drop down to 45 degrees under partly cloudy skies. As we take a quick look at the 7-day forecast, yeah, we stay nice through the weekend. 69 Saturday, 75 on Sunday. We return to the 80s by the start of next week, but we're also watching increasing shower and thunderstorm chances, and rain is something we need. Wednesday looking to be our best day for some of those showers and storms, and then we drop back down to 75 by Thursday. Well, in Consumer Watch this morning, layoffs are rising here in the U.S. as a number of companies initiate hiring freezes. According to outplacement firm Challenger, Gray, and Christmas, job cuts were up 46% in September to nearly 30,000. The report also says the number of companies announcing hiring plans in September fell to the lowest level in more than a decade. Some economists believe the news may be a sign efforts by the Federal Reserve to tamp down inflation are beginning to hit the labor market. Outdoor retailer REI is making Black Friday a permanent holiday for its approximately 16,000 employees. Since 2015, the Seattle-based retail cooperative has closed its stores the day after Thanksgiving, traditionally seen as the start of the holiday shopping season. Now, REI says it will shut its operations every year on Black Friday while encouraging workers and customers to spend time outside. REI says shoppers can still place orders on its website, but they won't begin processing until the next day. And Sotheby's says it expects this abstract painting by Dutch artist Piet Mondrian to go for more than $50 million when it's auctioned next month in New York. The 1930 grid-style work is called Composition Number 2. It's expected to break Mondrian's current auction record of $50.6 million, which was set back in 2015 for Composition Number 3. We'll be right back after this. We have breaking news this morning out of Cherokee County where emergency responders are on the scene of a non-injury crash involving a train and another vehicle. The good news is at this point it is a non-injury crash. However, it's just north of Columbus on Kansas Highway 7 near Bethlehem Road. That area is closed to through traffic and they're urging you to find an alternate route for your morning commute. Again, authorities on the scene of a non-injury crash involving a vehicle just north of Columbus on Kansas Highway 7 near Bethlehem Road. They are urging you to find an alternate route for your commute as that area remains closed to traffic. An army of cyborg bugs could be used to help save the lives of people trapped after a natural disaster. Ted Lindner has the story.
They may not be your conventional search and rescue team, but specialized cyborg bugs could save your life in the aftermath of a natural disaster. Wow. A team of scientists in Japan are experimenting with solar-powered devices strapped to the bodies of Madagascar hissing cockroaches. Using a remote control, officials are able to send small electric signals to these high-tech backpacks. The signals alter the bug's movement and can be used to help steer them in specific directions.
The main purpose we think this could be used for is searching for survivors in places where disasters have occurred, in particular where there's an earthquake and people have been buried in rubble of collapsed buildings.
While other teams around the world are experimenting with rescue robots in disaster zones, critics say they have their setbacks.
The batteries inside small robots run out quickly, so the time for exploration becomes shorter.
But researchers say bugs armed with the solar-powered devices won't be subject to these restrictions.
A key benefit of a cyborg insect is that when it comes to an insect's movements, the insect is causing itself to move, so the electricity required is nowhere near as much.
The backpacks don't harm the bugs and can also be removed. Officials are now working on perfecting their ability to control the bug's movements, while focusing on making the backpack smaller and even adding cameras and motion sensors so the bugs can better track survivors. They're buried beneath rubble. Ted Lindner, Fox News.
I'm sorry, I would end up squishing one of those things. Even if I was trapped in rubble, I'd see a giant roach and I'd kill it. And then hopefully they'd be able to see me, I guess, before I kill it, because it wouldn't end well for that little robot bug. All right, I wanted to show you this. This is northern Kansas, southern Nebraska. Some shower and thunderstorm activity up there. We're keeping an eye on. Nothing strong, nothing severe. But there's the chance that it could clip some of our northern counties later today. We'll keep an eye on it, but otherwise the expectation is we're going to remain dry and we're going to remain nice. Take a look at this shot at 7th and Range Line. A few more clouds out in the sky in the city of Joplin. 54 degrees with a light north breeze, but that's going to start to pick up as the day goes on. 51 Yates Center, 53 Fredonia, 57 Welch, 55 Miami, and Neosho as we start the day. We've had great news for allergy sufferers as well, because pollen counts continue to drop. 4.7 out of 12 today and a 3.4 out of 12 for tomorrow. As we go through today, an absolutely textbook fall-like day. Partly cloudy skies, an afternoon high of 68 degrees, and then a perfect fall-like evening. Will be partly cloudy tonight, dropping back to a low of 45 degrees, so not bad at all. And of course, it's Friday night football in the 4 states, and we've got beautiful weather lined up. We are calling cloud interference on the field because we'll have some of those partly cloudy skies. We are going to be 60 at kickoff, 57 at halftime. Great, perfect football temps, but you may want to take a jacket if you're out watching your favorite high school team tonight. 69 on Saturday, partly cloudy, 75 on Sunday, so we do have a beautiful weekend shaping up. And although the rain chances are gone from Sunday, that doesn't mean they're gone altogether. We're still looking at them heading into next week. We'll warm back into the 80s Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and shower and thunderstorm chances gradually increase over the next few days, or those few days rather, until we reach a pinnacle kind of on Wednesday with our best shot of showers and thunderstorms. And then take a look at Thursday. After the rain, we cool back down into the 60s by next Friday and Saturday. And then next Sunday, we're looking at a return to 80-degree weather. We've got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Here's what's happening today. President Biden says the threat of a nuclear Armageddon is at its highest since the Cuban Missile Crisis. Speaking at a Democratic fundraiser, the president said Russian President Vladimir Putin is not joking when he talks about nuclear weapons, and says he doesn't know what Putin's off-ramp is with Ukraine. The White House is taking steps toward decriminalizing marijuana. President Biden is pardoning thousands of Americans convicted of simple marijuana possession under federal law. The president called on governors across the country to follow suit and asked the Department of Health and Human Services and the U.S. Attorney General to review how the drug is classified. Police have a man in custody who they say stabbed 8 people, some fatally, along the Las Vegas Strip. According to investigators, security footage shows the suspect fleeing the scene before he was apprehended with help from a casino's security team. Witnesses say at least one showgirl who takes pictures with tourists is among the victims. We do have breaking news real quick out of Cherokee County that we wanted to go over. Officials are working a non-injury crash between a train and a vehicle just north of Columbus on Kansas Highway 7 near Bethlehem Road. Because of this, that road is closed at that location, and drivers are urged to take an alternate route. Again, they're working a non-injury crash involving a train and a vehicle just north of Columbus on Kansas Highway 7 near Bethlehem Road. They're urging drivers this morning to find an alternate route as the road remains closed. Quick look at our forecast for today. We're looking at 68, a beautiful fall-like day, partly cloudy skies. Heading into this evening, we'll be partly cloudy again, drop back down to a low of 45, and the 7-day forecast shows us some absolutely beautiful weather for the next few days. 69 Saturday, 75 Sunday, and then as we head into the start of next week, we warm back into the 80s, but we also watch increasing rain chances, and our best chances look to be Wednesday for some showers and thunderstorms. And again, we're not talking a deluge of rain by any means, but it's rain that's on its way, and we definitely need it. Then check out temperatures after the rain. 75 Thursday, 65 next Friday, 66 next Saturday. And then after that, we warm up again. We start to see temperatures return to the 80s for the week following next week. And of course, we're still watching a system for that following week in a couple of weeks to see what it does for us as well, because weather is getting a little little more interesting around the 4 states. And again, we absolutely need some rain across the area, so we'll be keeping an eye on that. It has been an absolutely wonderful Friday with you all today. I hope you've had as much fun as we have. If you've missed any of the show, remember, you can catch it on the KOAM Plus app. We also have it on the KOAM News Now YouTube page. And all the links and information from interviews and stories we've done today, you can find anytime at KOAMNewsNow.com. Thank you so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We're back with more news and weather today at noon. Have a great morning and an even better day.